Hello everyone and welcome to the WCG for the third and deciding test match of the Harley Cranes Test Series between Brennan's 11 and Matt's 11. Rain was unfortunately the winner as the second test was completely washed out without a ball being bowled, so it means that we head to this third test match with it all to play for. A win or a draw will do for the Green Machine. However, a win for the Men in Blue will see them draw the series and retain the trophy. As we take a look at how the Season 7 Harley Cranes Test Series has unfolded to date, it was the Green Machine who prevailed in an epic first test match, prevailing by 28 runs to take a 1-0 series lead. And history suggests that that is an impregnable position. The second test was completely washed out as mentioned prior, without a ball being bowled, so it means that the winner of this third test match will have their hands on the trophy. Captains are in the middle and ready for the toss.
Luck, mate. Good luck, mate. The Victor goes forward. Your call. Here's a flats.
Hills. Yes, it is. We'll have a bowl.
Beautiful.
So it's the Matt's 11 skipper Matt White who wins the all-important toss, and he has decided to send the Men in Blue into bat. As we take a look at both sides for this all-important third test match, Matt's 11 missing two huge players for this year's decider, namely Joel Wodgick and Michael Johnson, who are unavailable for selection today. Matt White will captain the side once again. Hamid Basher joins him as his right-hand man. Harry Dean and Ryan Schaefer also take their places in this Matt's 11 lineup. And the huge story is that Matt's 11 welcome back Pat McGregor for the first time in 2 years. Daniel Arnold, Nathan Hancock and Alex Stepien also take their places in this Matt's 11 lineup. And the side will be rounded out by Jake Casaccia and Mark Pasterfield. For the Men in Blue, they will be skippered by Brendan Scott, who is coming off a successful Australia Day T20 Big Bash campaign. He'll be joined by his right-hand man Justin Brooke, with Henry Perinara and Riley Cornforth also taking their places in this Blues lineup. Joe Severi will make his test debut at the WCG after impressing at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. Daniel Hancock, Gavin Merrifield and Josh Bolling also take their places in this Brennan's 11 lineup. And the side will be rounded out by Troy Hayden and Michael Mabry, who also makes his test debut at the WCG today. And just before we get underway, we'd like to thank our major partner for this year's test series, Harley Cranes, who have been a long-standing partner of the WCG. And we thank them once again for their generosity over the years. So to the victor go the spoils in this third and deciding test match. Can Matt's 11 claim their first title in 5 years, or can Brennan's 11 turn this around and maintain their dominance? Let's get it on. And it will be the Blues skipper Brendan Scott who will get this innings underway for the defending champions. As mentioned prior, is coming off an impressive Australia Day T20 Big Bash campaign. However, he failed twice in the opening test match of the series. Can he get them off to the start they need here? So we've got all the ingredients for a dramatic end to this test series, and it's going to be Harry Dean to Scott first up. Here he's in now and he begins with a full delivery which is bang on the money, and Scott is good enough to keep this out first up. So a brilliant start for both players here in this test match. That's bang on. Harry Dean to continue to Scott in the opening over of the test match. Here he's in now and this one's a full delivery wider outside the off stump, and Scott is happy to leave this alone. So this will be a key battle once again here in this test match. Dean, one of the few bowlers to regularly trouble Scott throughout test matches. As Dean is in once again to Scott, and he serves up a full toss, and it's driven through cover for the opening boundary of the test match. It's a bit of a gift served up from Dean, and Scott says thank you very much. No wicket for 4. It'll be skipper v skipper as White is into Scott. Here he's in now, and this one's a good length delivery, and Scott drops this on the offside, and he moves through for a single. So a good busy start to his innings here from the Blues skipper as he moves along to 5. White to continue to Scott over the wicket. Here he's in now, and this one's a good length delivery wide outside the off stump, and Scott is happy enough to let this go. So if Brennan's 11 are going to retain their trophy, they're going to have to create history. No side has ever lost the first test match and gone on to win the series or retain the trophy. As White is in once again to Scott, and Scott gets a thick inside edge, and this goes through mid-wicket for his second boundary of the test match. So Scott off to a bit of a flyer here in this decider. No wicket for 9. Daniel Arnold to bowl around the wicket here to Scott. Here he's in now and he serves up a full toss, and Scott drives this through cover for his third boundary. So it hasn't been the greatest of starts with the ball for the Green Machine, and Scott is off to a flyer. So the Blues and Scott move to 13. As Arnold's in once again to Scott, and he drops this one in short, and he gets underneath this one comfortably enough. So Brennan's 11 enter this third and deciding test match in unfamiliar territory. They have not been 1-0 down in a test series since season 2. Here is Arnold's in for the final ball of the over. Oh, and it's a good one to end with. It's a beautiful delivery outside the off stump. It's a tight lead from Scott, but it's well judged in the end. 13 without loss. It's Mark Pastfield who will bowl around the wicket here to Scott. He's in now and he begins with a good delivery, which is bang on the money, right in the block hole. And Scott is good enough to keep this out. So a good start to his over here from Pastfield. That's bang on the money. Pastfield to continue to Scott around the wicket. Here he's in now and it's another one bang on the money. And Scott treats it with the respect it deserves as he's forward and defends back down the pitch for no run. That's good stuff from Pastfield here in the 6th over. Brennan's 11 no wicket for 13. As Pastfield's in once again. And Scott is forward and punches this down the ground. And it beats Daniel Arnold there at mid-off for another boundary. Scott moves along to 17. And Scott picking up where he left off at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. It'll be Jake Kasacha to bowl the 7th over of the innings. As he's in over the wicket here to Scott. And he begins with a delivery bang on the money. And Scott plays this back down the pitch for no run. So Scott just beginning to get going here in this third and deciding test match. As Kasacha's in once again to him now. And this one's a full toss. And this hits Scott on the leg and goes through to the automatic wiki. So as you can see on your screens, it's a cracker day for cricket. As the weather has turned one on for this decider. As Kasacha is in once again to Scott. It's another delivery bang on the money. And Scott is forward and defends on the onside for no run. So good this from Kasacha. As we continue again now to Scott. And this one's a half tracker. Oh, and what has Scott done here? He's got himself into an almighty tangle. And that's the first wicket down for the men in blue. Scott, who was beginning to look good at the crease, has had an absolute brain fart here. He has just misjudged this completely. Got a top edge. And Jake Kasacha picks up the big wicket of Scott. Brennan's 11 1 for 17. And the Blues skipper cannot believe what he's done. So that wicket now brings Justin Brooke to the crease, the vice skipper, in at number 2. He has been lean for runs in test matches so far at the WCG. Can he stand up for the men in blue right now? So it'll be Jake Kasacha who's got his tail up to bowl to Justin Brooke for his first delivery. Here he's in now and Justin Brooke's on the back foot and plays this down the ground for no run. 1 for 17 after 7. It'll be Nathan Hancock to bowl over the wicket here to Brooke. Here he's in now, and this one's a back of a length delivery, and he plays this away on the offside for no run. So this is a big innings for Brooke. Here the Green Machine have their tail up after picking up the big wicket of Scott. As Hancock is in once again to Brooke, and Brooke plays this away on the offside once again, and it's fielded by Hamid Al-Basha once again. So it is young Hancock who's proved to be the chief tormentor for Brooke over the last few seasons. As in once again to Brooke, and this one's a full delivery. He's got an entry to the keeper. Has he? Well, it's been given not out, I think. What's going on here? Well, the umpire said not out. Well, he's saying this must have hit. Oh, that's well inside. Brooke gets away with one there. Well, the umpire said this has missed the pole. Well, reprieve there for Brooke. As Hancock is in once again to him now, and this one's a full delivery, and it's a flash outside the off stump. And it's a swing and a miss there from Brooke. Well, this test match has livened up in the last 5 minutes or so. Can Brooke make good with his second chance? Here is Hancock is into him now. This one's a full delivery and it pops up off his bat, I think, over the fence. So he can't make do with his chance, as this time there's no hiding. That's the second wicket down for Brennan's 11. It's a brute of a delivery from young Hancock. Yeah, and it catches him on the hand and goes over the fence. 2 for 17. So the Blues were seemingly cruising 5 minutes ago, and now they're in a bit of trouble in this third and deciding test match, as that wicket now brings Henry Perenara to the crease. He too has been short on runs of late. Can he stand up for the men in blue here? So it'll be Nathan Hancock in for the final delivery of his over. Into Perenara, begins with a good delivery, and Perenara is watchful. 2 for 17. So it'll be Hamidul Bashir to bowl around the wicket here to Perenara, who's in now, and he begins with a full toss, and Perenara clips this off his toes to begin his innings with a maximum. So a positive start here for Perenara as he hammers this away. Now Bashir to continue to Perenara around the wicket. He's in now. Oh, this one's a horrible delivery, and this one will be called a wide. So not the greatest start to the test match here from Hamidul Bashir, who of course ended the first test match with 2 brilliant run-outs to seal victory for the men in green. Here he's in once again to Perenara. Perenara plays this onto the fence and will move through for a single. The Blues 2 for 25. It'll be Harry Dean to bowl the 11th over of the innings, as he's in now to Perenara, and this one's a good delivery outside the off stump, and Perenara draws the bat inside the line and lets this one go. So a big period of the test match this, with match 11's front 9 bowlers back in the mix. Here is Perenara, faces up to Dean once again, and he is forward, and he's good enough to keep this one out. So a good start to the second cycle here from Dean, who has been bang on the money, quick as always. Here's Dean is in once again to Perenara. Oh, and he's got an entry to the keeper, as Perenara makes a late decision to play it to his detriment. That's the 3rd wicket down for the men in blue. They're in trouble in this decider. It's a brilliant bit of bowling from Dean, who draws Perenara into a false stroke. 3 for 26. Well, falling like dominoes after the dismissal of Scott, and that wicket now brings Riley Cornforth to the crease at number 4, coming off a pair in the first test match on debut, so he's a man under pressure. And he'll have to contend with a fired-up Harry Dean first up. Here he's in now to Cornforth, and this was a tentative push forward, but he does enough to keep this one out. So brilliant stuff this from Dean, who has been bang on the money here in his second over. As we continue again now to Cornforth. Here he's in now, oh, and this has missed the off stump by an absolute whisker. This was an absolute bullet from Dean, and he was that close to picking up his second wicket. It'll be Pat McGregor to bowl around the wicket here to Cornforth. He's in now, and this one's a full delivery, and there's a slight appeal here from McGregor, but this slides down the leg side. So it's good to see McGregor back in the backyard after a 2-year hiatus, effectively coming out of retirement to answer an SOS call from Matt White after he was low on troops. As he'll continue again now to Cornforth, and Cornforth plays his way on the fence, and he'll move through for his first test run at the WCG. So that will be a weight off the young man's shoulders, who is off and racing here for his test career. It's going to be Ryan Schaefer to bowl around the wicket here to Cornforth. He's in now on, begins with a shocker of a delivery. It's a beamer there to young Cornforth, and that has to be sanctioned. So that's another one to the total here for Brandon's 11. The men in blue 3 for 28. And Schaefer will continue again now to Cornforth. And this one's a full toss, and it's clipped away brilliantly off his legs for his first boundary in test matches. It's a shot we saw regularly during the recent Australia Day T20 Big Bash, and he beats McGregor there for a boundary. Schaefer to continue around the wicket here to Cornforth. Here he's in now, and this one's a full delivery, and he's clipped this off his toes. And has this gone through to the auto wiki? Well, the green machine are incensed again. Have the Blues got away with another one? Here's we have a look. Oh, that's well inside again. They have got away with another one. Well, the Blues getting all the calls at the moment, as Matt White will steam into Cornforth, and it's a quick delivery outside the off stump, and Cornforth lets this one go. Well, 2 very controversial moments here in this test match. Both have gone the men in blue's way. Here is White will continue again now to Cornforth, and this one's a full delivery outside the off stump. There's a big appeal, and Cornforth walks. Well, I'm not sure what's happened here. He must have got a feather through to the keeper, and that's the 4th wicket down for the men in blue. Let's have a look. Yeah, he has. It brushes the outside edge, and White picks up his first wicket of the test. It's 4 for 32. So the Blues in big trouble here in this 3rd test match, and that wicket now brings the debutant Joe Saveri to the crease. He did the business at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. Can he do it for the men in blue in this test match? So it's going to be Pasterfield to bowl around the wicket to Saveri for his first delivery. Here he's in now, and he drops it on a good length, and Saveri is watchful as he lets this one go outside the off stump. So brilliant stuff here from the men in green, who have reined this back after Scott got away early. The Blues in trouble in this decider at 4 for 32, as Pasterfield is in once again to Saveri, and he's bang on the money as Severi is forward and defends on the offside for no run. So nice this from Pasterfield, who has been good with the ball so far in this decider. As in once again to Severi, and once again he's bang on the money. And Severi can only get forward and defend on the offside for no run. So the men in blue will be hoping he can just soak up a bit of pressure here and get this ship back on track. As Pasterfield's in once again to Severi, and he plays this away on the offside, but it's brilliantly stopped there from Ryan Schaefer at mid-off. He's brilliant there in that position. Nothing gets past the great man. Pasterfield in for the final ball of the over. Here he's in now, and this one's a thick inside edge on. This must have narrowly missed the auto wiki. Here, there's no appeal here from the green machine, but I sense this must have been close. Yeah, it was. It's a good over there from Pasterfield. It remains 4 for 32. It'll be Alex stepping to bowl around the wicket here to Severi. Here he's in now, and this one's a back of a length delivery. Severi cuts this away for his first runs in test matches at the WCG. That's a confident stroke there from the Italian stallion. It wasn't that wide, to be fair, there from Stepien, but Severi gets it away nevertheless. The Blues move along to 4 for 37 as Severi faces up to Stepien once again, and he gets a thick inside edge which beats Pat McGregor there at short mid-wicket, and he moves through for a single. So Severi moves along to 5. Brendan's 11, 4 for 38 in the 19th over, with Severi just looking to steady the ship here for the men in blue. A step in will continue to him now around the wicket. He's in now, and this one's a back of a leg delivery, and Severi goes for the square cut. It looked too close to cut this one, and he's chopped it back onto his stumps. That's the 5th wicket down for the men in blue, who are in big trouble in this decider. Stepien picks up his first wicket of the test match as Severi goes for 5. Yeah, this one clearly too close to cut. It's a poor bit of judgment there from Severi, and he's got to go for 5. So the Blues in massive trouble once again in their first innings, as that wicket now brings the youngster Daniel Hancock to the crease. Was very nearly the hero for Brendan's 11 in that opening test match, with a career best score of 30 which breathed life into the Brendan's 11 run chase. Can he do something similar here? So Stepien is into Hancock, and Hancock sways out of the way well enough. It'll be Pat McGregor to bowl around the wicket here to Hancock. Here he's in now, this one's a full delivery, driven upper sleeve towards Stepien on the offside, and it rebounds safely, thankfully for the men in blue. It just did not go to hand here for the men in green. It hits Stepien and lands safely. Stroke of luck there for Daniel. Well, it is all happening here in this decider, as McGregor is in once again to Hancock, and he gets a leading edge, and this has gone all the way for 6, hasn't it? It has. Well, it's another stroke of luck there from Daniel, who closes the face on this one, but it goes all the way, and they'll take it. It'll be Jake Kasacha to bowl the 26th over of the innings. Here he's in now to Hancock. It begins with a short delivery, and Hancock plays this off the fence as it runs along for another boundary. Well, he's off to a fly here in his innings, the youngster. He moves along to 11 as the 50 is up for the men in blue. Brendan's 11, 5 for 51 as Kasacha will continue over the wicket here to Hancock. Oh, and he's nearly dragged this on, but it drops safely and he moved through for a single. Well, it's a good bit of bowling there from Kasacha, and this must have been close. Oh, that's not far away, but Hancock survives. It'll be brother v brother as Nathan is in to Daniel. Here he's in now, and this one's a good length delivery, and this one slides down the leg side, but only just. Here we all know what happened a few years ago when Nathan bowled Daniel around his legs, and he might be looking for that once again. Here is Hancock is into Hancock once again. It's a full toss, it's played away on the offside, it's well fielded by Daniel Arnold, but Pasterfield can't stop it from going to the boundary. So the youngster is standing up for the men in blue once again. He moves along to 16. The Blues 5 for 56. It'll be Hamid Bashir to bowl the 28th over of the innings. As in there to Hancock, and this is a good length delivery, and Hancock allows this to hit him on the body as he knows this was sailing comfortably over the stumps. So good this from the youngster, who is breathing new life into this innings, as he did in the first test. As Bashir is in once again to him now. Oh, there's a big appeal and he's gone! Just as he was looking comfortable. Well, they've done this a few times here, Brennan's 11, during this test match. They've hung the bat out there, and he's had a little poke at it, and he gets a glance off his hand. It's 6 down. So Brandon's 11 now 6 for 56 in their first innings, as that wicket now brings Gavin Merrifield to the crease at number 7. He too has been short on runs of late. Can he stand up for the men in blue here? So he'll have to face up a fired up Hamid Basha, who's just picked up his first wicket. Here he's in now, this one sails down the leg side to end a successful over. It'll be Alex Stepien to bowl around the wicket here for his third over. Here he's in now, and this one's a short wide delivery, and Merrifield has a slash outside the off stump, but he can't make contact. So Merrifield has stood up with the blade in the pass here for Brandon's 11 in this position, and I'll be hoping he can do it once again. And Stepien is in once again too. Merrifield on. This one must have missed the off stump by a whisker. It's hands on heads here from Stepien. This must have been close. Oh, that's a good rock. Here Stepien will continue around the wicket here to Merrifield. Here he's in now. This one's a full delivery. Oh, it's bowling around his legs. It clips the leg stump. And it goes from bad to worse for Brandon's 11. There's 7 down now. Merrifield's lean trot with the bat for the men in blue continues. Stepien picks up his second wicket of the test match. It's 7 for 56. So the green machine well on top in this decider, as that wicket now brings Josh Bolling to the crease at number 8. And he's got an almighty job to do here if he's going to get Brandon's 11 up to a decent first innings total. So it's Stepien who'll continue to bowling around the wicket for the final ball of his over. Here he's in now, and it's a full delivery, and it's a swing and a miss to begin with there from Bolling. It'll be Ryan Schaefer to bowl his third over of the innings. Here he's in now too. Bolling begins with a full toss, and Bolling bumps this over mid-wicket to get off the mark with a maximum. Well, it wasn't the most convincing stroke there from Bolling. It's a bit of a leading edge, but it's 6 all the same. 7 for 62. So a positive start there from Bolling. Schaefer will continue to him now in the 30th over. And this one's a full delivery, and it's driven down the ground here from Bolling. That's a more assured stroke there. It's back-to-back boundaries to begin his innings here from Bolling. It's an impressive start. It's 7 for 66. So positive intent from Bolling to begin with. As Schaefer's in once again to him now. Oh, and that's a Jaffa to reply with. That's an absolute beauty, which beats Bolling all ends up. Schaefer gets his radar right. Oh, and that's too good. It'll be Harry Dean to bowl his fourth over of the innings. As in now to Bolling begins with a good length delivery, and Bolling gets an edge through to the keeper. So his stay at the crease is a brief one, but they are 10 important runs here for the men in blue. Harry Dean picks up his second wicket of the innings. It's 8 for 66. So the green machine decision to send the Blues into bat proves a good one at the moment, as that wicket now brings Michael Mabry to the crease, the debutant. Made handy runs for his side, taking over at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. But this is a whole new kettle of fish. Here's he'll have to face Harry Dean first up, and it's a quick delivery outside the off stump, and he has a tentative poke at it as this one flies through to the keeper. So the green machine will be looking to wrap this innings up quickly, as Dean is in once again to Mabry. Oh, it's a brilliant bit of fielding there from McGregor, as we've been accustomed to over the years. And I think a direct hit here and he would have been gone. Yeah, long gone, but he survives. It'll be Matt White to bowl the 33rd over of the innings. As in now to Mabry begins with a full toss, and Mabry gets a thick inside edge past McGregor for his first runs in test matches. He's off the mark in style. Actually, he deserves more credit there. That's off the face of the bat. So Mabry off the mark in style, as White will continue to him now. And this one's played uppishly on the leg side once again. Oh, and I think this has hit the clothesline and landed safely as he moves through for a single. Well, it's an eventful start to his innings here. It's a full toss. It was destined for 6. Oh, and it's hit the clothesline. So finally something going the green machine's way. It'll be Mark Pasterfield to bowl the 35th over of the innings. As in now to Mabry. Mabry gets a thick outside edge onto the fence as he takes a middle basher on, and he moves through for a single. So good this from Mabry, who's moved along to 6. He's been busy to begin his innings so far. Brandon's 11 have moved along to 8 for 72. And they'll be hoping these last two batsmen can get them up towards that 100 mark. Here is Pasterfield will continue again now to Mabry. This one's played away on the offside, but it's fielded by Harry Dean there at cover for no run. So Mabry has begun his innings with aggressive intent. Here is Pasterfield will continue again now to him around the wicket. He's in now. This one's a good length delivery on. It's hit Maybury on the body and it crashes into the stumps. That's the 9th wicket down for the men in blue. Maybury's stay at the wicket is a brief one as he has to go for 6. Pasterfield picks up his first wicket of the test match. 9 for 72. Well, the Green Machine just 1 wicket away from wrapping up this first innings as that wicket now brings Troy Hayden to the crease, the last man in for the men in blue. And Brennan's 11 will be hoping he can push them up towards that 100 mark. So it'll be Pasterfield who's just picked up his first wicket of the test match into Hayden. This one's a full delivery, it's driven back down the ground and it's misfielded by Pasterfield. And Hayden is off the mark in style. It's been floated up there on a good length. Oh, and he should have stopped it. It'll be Nathan Hancock to bowl his 4th over of the innings. As in there to Hayden begins with a full toss, and Hayden gets his way through mid-wicket for back-to-back boundaries. Well, he's off to a flyer here in his innings. Well, he moves along to 8. It's 9 for 80. So good stuff this from Hayden. As Hancock is in once again, he plays this across the line. Oh, and it's a good bit of fielding there from Pat McGregor. I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but he stopped a certain boundary. Well, Hayden has come out with aggressive intent. No, it's actually a good bit of fielding there from Pat McGregor. Saves a boundary. Hancock to continue to Hayden in the 36th over. Here he's in now. This one's a back of a leg delivery and he swivels on the back foot and he punches his past McGregor for another boundary. Hayden on fire. He races to 13. It's 9 for 85. It'll be Jake Kasacha to bowl the 37th over of the innings. Here is this one's a short delivery and he swivels again and he paddles this on the leg side for another boundary. This is a brilliant rearguard action from the big fella. It's 9 for 89. Well, he's got the equal highest top score in this innings as Kasacha will continue again now to Hayden, and this is a beamer and that'll be called a no ball. So the men in blue move along to 9 for 90, and where they were, they'd probably be happy with where they sit at the moment, but with the way Troy Hayden is going, they might fancy themselves to get way beyond 100. Here is Kasacha in once again. Oh no, just like that, the innings is over. He's hammered this again, but he's hammered it over the house. Brennan's 11 dismissed for 90 in the 38th over as Hayden's cameo comes to an end on 17. So all in all, a pretty handy bowling performance from the men in green has seen them bowl the Blues out for 90 after sending them into bat. Dean, Kasacha and Stepien picking up 2 wickets each. Brendan Scott and Troy Hayden top scoring for the men in blue with 17 apiece. And considering where Brendan's 11 were, they'll probably take that. And it's probably even Stevens as we head into the match 11 first innings. So as we have a look at where the match stands, Brendan's 11 bowled out for 90 in their first innings. As we look ahead to the Green Machine reply, there's a few dark clouds hovering overhead, so it will make for decent bowling conditions, and the Blues will be looking to pick up some early wickets and put the Green Machine under pressure when we return.